welcome to a very random plan with me. So I've been trying to do this plan with me for a while, and I figured that I would just do it for this week. So I am sort of in a way back planning because technically the week currently is actually Valentine's Day week, but since I haven't actually used my colorful planner in a while, since I've been using my neutral planner, I figured that the way I can actually use this, instead of adding like date headers, I can just cover up the dates. I don't actually need it for like a specific like day type of thing. I cover up the dates and then I kind of just do lists of things that I need to do. So this is going to be turning into a very big to-do list, but I'm making a twist on that, and I'm going to be using Happy Planner sticker books. So this might get a little confusing because of sizes and things like that, but in a way, like these boxes are actually longer, so they do cover up the headers on here. But really, I just really wanted to do a to-do list for myself, so I can like glance at it and make sure that I have things ready to go for like the next month or like the next couple weeks, and it's just kind of like an ongoing to-do list for whenever I finish it. So like any ideas I get or any of the things I need to do, I'll probably just go back and glance at this one, and then once that's done, I like go to the next page and do it. So in a way, you guys are kind of seeing like behind the scenes for the shop. So I'm gonna actually get started. I chose a couple of washies. These are actually a couple of different ones. I'm not sure if I'm using this one since this one is kind of clear in a way. But again, these are all just books from the Happy Planner, and this is the rainbow book, which all has like color coordinated sheets. So I brought this one out because it does have like color coded ones in case I need like a specific color. This one has like a mix of everything. So it has like full sheets and then headers and a couple of other like functional items. And then this one is actually kind of like kits. So it has like pages of a color scheme, but they all kind of match together. So let me flip through that one really quick. There's kind of like, in a way, there's like double on here. So it has like this one, and then it has the next page. And so some of them have like foil on them. So I believe you can tell with the black and gold page. So this one has foil on this page, and then this one does not have foil, but they match. So it's kind of like a bit of both. So you can always like mix and match these. So I brought these out just because I wanted to use like a pink and mint color scheme, because the background on this one is what is it, like pink, red and pink. So I'm gonna get started. The first thing I'm gonna do is actually cover up the date headers, or the date actually. So I believe this one should cover this enough where I won't see it, or well, I mean, I'll see it, but it won't be like too distracting. I'm not really sure if that's the word I want to use. That is how I'm covering these up. So now I just have boxes. So since I wanted to use the pink and mint scheme, and because it is like Valentine's week technically, I'm gonna use either this page and this page with, I believe there's a mint one at the very top. Yeah, with a couple of these stickers. That way I can mix and match. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually mark my spot on here. So I'm going to put a binder clip on both of these pages. That way I can easily flip back and forth. So since I'm using foiled washi, I'm not going to use the foil sheets. That way I can just save them for later. But I will block out a couple of things. So the first one is the weekend, which just have like a quote on this side. And I believe I want to use, let's use this one that says your heart knows the way. Just because it's like mint and green, and it's perfect for like Valentine's / like whatever I want to do for this. So I'm just going to leave that right here. Now that that is there, I can actually build a box on the side. So the first one, since this is green or like minty, I'm gonna use one of these boxes. So I'm gonna grab one of these and then stick this at the very top of, or the bottom of one of the headers. That way it covers up at least part of the next header, since that's how the sizes are. And then I'm just adding in one of these boxes here to the very, like, just to cover it enough for that. Just to cover up a little bit. And then I'm just gonna grab one of these, and I think I'm gonna use, yeah, I'm gonna use one of the flags. So one of the flags right here, and then I'm gonna cut a little, the first one off the top of here, and then stick this on what would be on Saturday technically. And then I can throw this away or save it, but most likely I'll throw it away. So there's a header on here that says important. So I'm gonna just put this right at the very top of this. And then add in a full box, but cut this one, technically I'm gonna cut this in half. So you'll see why in a second. So I'm gonna cut this in half, or it's not really in half, it's a little bit off, but I'm gonna put this right at the bottom of this one, and then put this one covering, actually, let me cut this one in half. I'm gonna cover up this header on this side, and then I have an extra one, so I'm gonna save that here, and I can probably use it for a different one. But now I have an extra box on here, so I'm going to use a couple of, so I'm actually gonna use this quote on here just because. So yeah, so I'm just gonna use a quote on this, that way it kind of looks like it's a really, really long box, but it's really not. And then I know there's this like space here, but I really don't mind it. That is how it's working. So since I have mint and gold on this side, I'm gonna use pink on this one, and then mint and gold on this one as well, on what would be Thursday. I feel like this is very confusing now. All right, so the first thing, I'm gonna actually cut this one in half, so, or sort of in half. I'm gonna cut it right in the middle of like the two hearts on here. And I'm usually just eyeballing this. I don't really measure these at all. So I'm gonna cover up the very top of Friday, or what would be Friday. Again, this is just a really big to-do list, but I'm just making it pretty enough that you can use it for any time. And then I'm gonna grab one of the write it down headers and stick that like in the middle of this here, and add in a couple of these little icon dots. So I'm just gonna go down the list and put 2 of those. That way there's a space on this side for anything else. And then I'm actually gonna look through one of these and see if there's a different header for that. So there is a couple of pink ones, but this is more magenta than pink. So let me see if there's any other ones that I can use instead. So as you can see, these are all just color coded. Nope, there isn't. So let's see if we can use, okay, so I might not use this one just because there's either red or magenta, and I want it like a lighter color. So I'm gonna put this one away just because I don't think I don't see a light pink one. Oh, there's a light pink one in here I just missed. Actually, I can use one of these. So I'm going to use this one that says plans at the top. And then cover up this header here. And that covers both headers, sort of. It's a little bit of sticking out on this side, but it's fine. And then this is just a bigger list for it. So now that that's, since that's there, I'm actually going to cover the bottom with the extra box that we had. So there you go. And that's just kind of like a building tone. So there is an extra header on Sunday on here, but I'm gonna leave that there because I can always write something on top of that. But for Thursday, what I'm going to do is actually use, wrong side. We're going on mint again. So the mint one, I'm going to use the one that's left over on here. Cover up the first header. And then see if there's something in this book that's kind of like a mint color to add that in there. Actually, there is. There's a to-do. And I'm just going to put this one at the top of that in the middle. So now that I can just leave a checklist on there. So let's do what I did with this side and put in a checklist. And I believe I'm going to use the same colors. So the ones on the left side. So I'm going to put 3 on here because I write really big and sometimes I need more space for those. So this one's a little, it's not centered. So I'm going to ruin it if I lift that up. So I'm just leaving that there for now, and that should be okay. For this, I'm going to put in a goals header. Just because I use any goals, to do, plan, important, I feel like that's the same thing for me. I kind of just do the same thing. And then I'm going to add in this one right at to cover up that header, but enough space that I can still like put something else on here. So it's kind of, in a way, it's centered on there, but it's still staggered enough for me since I kind of stagger all my stuff in a way. I never put in all my flow boxes on one block, just because I don't like doing that. But there's enough space I can still write something else on the bottom of this. Same with this one. There's always just like one thing I can always do. If not, I can always layer in a separate sticker on there. So now that this side is done, I want to move on to this side. Since this is mint, the middle part is going to be mint as well. And then these two for Monday and Wednesday are going to be pink, which means that the thoughtful thought will most likely be mint. So I'm gonna use the striped ones on here. That's this one, and just cover up the thoughtful thought since I have the book out already. So I'm gonna cover that up, and then this is gonna show a little bit, and then I'm gonna use one of these, and then this just turns into a really long column of another like things to do. I'm going to just add in a couple extra things. So I'm going to embrace the background on here. Use a plan on it sticker for the very top of this one. And then try to find something else that I can use in this book. So let's see. Well, that's a pink one. But I think I like that for something else. So I'm not going to use that one. I guess I could use this. it's not the same as on this side, but it's still on here. I'm just gonna cover up like right in the middle. And then I'm missing Monday and Wednesday. So again, those are all pink days. So I'm just gonna flip back to this and then just build from here. So I'm gonna add in this full box on Monday, or what would be Monday, and then just add in a box on here. So I'm gonna add the box right along the bottom of that. There's still enough room to write something on there. So I'm gonna grab one of these little tiny icons and stick it on this side. And then grab this Dream It, Do It sticker and just put this like right on the middle of both the columns on here. The last things I'm missing are checklists for this page. So I'm gonna cut off the bottom of this one. I'm gonna cut this one a little bit just because it's not it was like a little longer. And then I'm gonna put this one on this side. So that one is going to get put to use on this side. And then the last things I'm going to add in is a today header. And I'm going to put the today header on this, the first or second column, I mean, for like Monday. That way it kind of like matches. And then I'm missing a header for this one. So what I'm going to do is use a Let's Do This. I'm going to use the Let's Do This header, and then I'm going to use the Don't Forget one. And I'm putting in the Don't Forget one at the very, right here in the second. And then the Let's Do This one on the third box. And there we go. So that is kind of just an idea of what you guys can use any of the Happy Planner sticker books for. This is just a very, really big ongoing to-do list. That's kind of like what I use this for, but in a way it's like prettier. So I'll start off with like this column and finish up everything on this column, go on the next one, or things that I need to do. I just kind of like section this off. That way I just keep going. So I'm going to add in a couple of more washi since I forgot to add it. So I'm just going to stick this one all the way to the bottom. I'm going to leave this one blank just because I can always use the bottom for that one. Alright, so I hope you guys like this really random plan with me. Again, you guys don't have to use sticker kits for your planning. You can easily just go to Michael's and then grab a book and just kind of like play around with everything. That is it. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. See you next time. Bye everyone.